What's up, and welcome to another episode, Master Mode's Film Session, and today we're going to be talking about the newly acquired Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback, William Jackson III. Definitely excited about, this guy coming to the team, and ultimately some of the things that he's going to potentially, bring to this secondary, man. So without further ado, that is William right there at the top of the screen. I'm going to play the play in full speed, and after that I'm going to break it down. Also, make sure you hit that like button as well, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, literally, what are you doing, right? Just subscribe. It's simple. Hit the button, all right? And then after that, that notification bell is always available to you. Nothing like getting a little added help on defense, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Alrighty. So, from a coverage standpoint, for the Washington Commanders, they're playing a cover 2. And it's true traditional cover 2, not Tampa 2, not 2-man. And we talked about some of the differences between those defenses. But on this, with it being regular cover 2, the job of William, who once again is right here, is to, number one, reroute this first receiver, and then after that he's going to sink. It's called a squat technique or a sink technique out there when you're playing cover 2. So he's allowed to be super aggressive, getting hands on the receiver, but he also knows that he doesn't have to worry about the vertical carry because he has a half-field safety, which is this guy, okay? And that's the half-field safety over there, all right? So that is that for the teaching purpose of this thing. So for William, man, he can be super aggressive in this thing. He can play this almost as if it is man underneath, all right? And when we're talking about the technique that he's implementing, first off coverage, right? To start it off, let me get back to that. So starting off, like I said, off coverage, giving a little bit of cushion, but at the same time within that 5-yard barrier because you don't want to get, legal contact downfield. But I love the fact that he's shuffling, staying square, getting in front of Michael Gallup, gets his hands home, sees them home, and now you talk about the sink technique, right? Or the squat technique. Eyes back inside, still has body position on this receiver, but now he also understands the blast element because quarterback is out the pocket as well, man. So you have to understand the dynamic of quarterback extending the play. That receiver is also going to try to move at times, so you have to be really alert and aware of where he is at. But as a whole, I love the guy. I love his fundamentals to start this thing off. Like I said, shuffling, stay square, body position, and then from there, not too handsy, but finish the play. Good job right there, man, across the board by William, man. And like I said, this is just him in the cover 2, which, as y'all seen this year in Pittsburgh, we happen to run a lot of cover 2. So it is good to see that he is able to take a concept that we are already running here and do it at a good level right there. So now let's go check out the next play. So we just saw him rerouting in cover 2, doing some of the more fundamental stuff. Now we want to see, all right, he's a corner. Can he defend the deep ball? Now, in this particular game against Dallas, man, he got tested a good amount, and he held his own in certain elements of it, man. But on this particular play, man, I'm definitely excited to talk about it. So that's him at the bottom of the screen. We're going to play it in full speed, and after that, we're going to break it down. But I got to show him against the vertical. Come on, baby. Can't just talk about a play out there on that island and not talk about what he does on the deep ball, point of attack, catch point, and all that good stuff. So, alrighty. With this particular play, oh man, as I'm all over the place with my control action, shout out to the technology working with us, or not so much. But on this particular play, man, it's cover 1 for him. Alright, so it's actually covering for the whole defense, but specifically for William Jackson III right here, he's matched up one-on-one on CeeDee Lamb right at the 50-yard line. So antenna should be going up for any of my young defenders out there, right? Whenever you start getting to midfield or that first down, once you cross midfield, that is typically or traditionally where you get your shot plays, where offensive coordinators like to get aggressive, because for them, it's that chance to go ahead and get a touchdown, the first opportunity, so to speak. So antenna should always go up whenever you get midfield or that first down crossing midfield for the shot play to be getting ready to happen, all right? So William understands that. And the thing is this, man, pressed up, man-to-man, I would have liked him to get hands on CD versus making it an athlete versus athlete foot race, but William at this stage is still fast enough, and that's what I wanted to show with this slow motion right here. Number one is that he's stride for stride with CeeDee Lamb. We know who CeeDee Lamb is, man, what he's capable of. But to see that William can have the option of, number one, playing it like he did in the first clip where he gets hands on the receiver, really fundamentally sound, and using all of the tools that are in his tool bag to be successful, versus this particular play, more so just showing him being an athlete. Fast, speed. He talked about that, and that was one of the things that made him such a promising prospect coming out of college, was the speed that he had to go with the size. And right here you see it on display, and he does do an excellent job to get the PBU right here, offhand, getting in there, knocking the ball away, and does not draw a flag. Now but now when we're talking about William, I must say this: on this particular play, he executes this at a perfect level in terms of run width, leverage, because he understands he has a middle field safety, which is why he shades to the outside, as you can see right here. Outside leverage because he has a middle field safety. So he's very smart in terms of understanding his leverage, and that shows up consistently, whether it's cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, 4, cover 6, any of the things that he's going to be asked to do defensively. He really understands where his help is and the strengths and weaknesses of the defense. He's a veteran player, and it shows in his preparation. It shows in terms of his execution pre-snap to post-snap. Now, when we're talking about some of the knocks on him, though, or some of the question marks, it is also on these type of plays. In this particular game against the Cowboys, he had some plays like this where he was successful, but he also had some plays where he was flagged for PI, for getting a little too handsy or getting to the point of attack a little bit too soon. We understand that that is a part of playing out there on the corner in terms of that cornerback position, but for him, he still is on the more consistent side than not at this stage. But we also know that health is going to be a big part as well. So with that being said, let's keep this thing going to the next play, baby. All right, so now we're talking about this play. We're going to get a chance to see him in man-to-man coverage, but now it's in the red zone. So what is the difference? It's a lot more condensed. So the techniques are sometimes different in terms of which you're more willing to give up and how aggressive you're willing to play in certain elements. So with that being said, that's William right there at the top of the screen, circled up nice and neat. I will play this in full speed, and then after that, we're going to break it down. Put that fist in the air, baby. Put the fist in the air. So for the Commanders on defense, they're playing cover 1. All right. So he's matched up there. He's your middle field. Bam, bam. They're using these two inside guys to wall off or be aggressive on anything coming underneath. If they don't see anything there, they're taught to settle, read the quarterback's eyes. All right. So with that being the approach, or with that being the mindset, first thing I like is this: different levels. Okay, when you're talking about playing man-to-man defense, if William, who we just circled, is up at the top of the screen, if he is on the same level as his nickel corner, it's a lot easy for these guys to make them hit each other, run into each other, anything, right? So you want to have different levels. Okay, we like to call it lock and level. All right, so you get the communication, you got the different levels. Good. All right, next up is actually go ahead and execute it. Right, who you guarding? So I like how he's in his pedal. Not too quick though, because number one, he's in the red zone, and he's also reading the tempo of this guy's route. There's nothing that's telling William that, hey man, this guy's gonna take me vertical right now, even though it's only a 15-yard route, if it does go vertical, right? So he's not really concerned with that. So he's able to be a little bit more slower in his pedal. He's able to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of jumping on some of these routes right here. And for me, man, I just love the fact that he stays square. And once he commits, he commits. And then from there, you finish the tackle, man. This is 3rd and 7. They throw the ball, I think it was 5 yards on the completion. But from there, William comes in there and makes a short tackle, gets him off the field, hand in the air. I love that, because those are the little details. That's letting me know that he's understanding situational football. He's understanding the difference of, if it's in the red zone, how aggressive I need to be. But more importantly, red zone plus possession down, 3rd and 7. When you see that type of route, that means something to you. When you see him settling, understand it. Take that information and believe it. And that's the other part of it. He doesn't just acquire all this information. He's watching this route and he's like, okay, this is a whip route. Cool. But he's not satisfied with that. He doesn't take the approach of, let me go to where he's at, or let me come all the way over here and be extra cautious. Nah, he drives on it once he understands what it is, and he trusts himself, and then he has a good form tackle, wrap up, finish. And like I said, man, put the fist in the air to let everybody know that I do know it's time for us to get off the field. Really good job by him once again. Like I said, man, just really doing a good job of showing, especially this game. This is literally the last game he had before he got hurt against the Titans. And obviously he had missed time since then. But for me, man, seeing him in this game, and he really shows just how complete he is versus the deep ball, versus the underneath, tackling the catch in the red zone, even against the run, which I'm going to show you in a second, man. But as a whole, man, William Jackson, I do think, is going to bring a certain level of veteran presence and a veteran productivity to this defense, man, that we really need, especially in our secondary right now. All right, now it's time for the final play from this breakdown. And man, you know I could not do a breakdown of a DB without having them playing the run, because here in Pittsburgh, we play the run, man. If you can't play the run, you are not going to see the field here defensively. And more importantly, we know in the AFC North, you got to tackle, baby. So that's William Jackson III right there. We're going to play this thing in full speed. After that, we're going to break it down. Get you one. Get you one. Let's go. Let's go. Flex on it one time. Let them know, man. You ain't afraid of that. Let's get it. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Alrighty. So, when we're talking about this particular play, at first I was thinking, man, the way that William triggers right there, how fast he reads this has to be a blitz, right? But after going back and looking at this play, this is not a blitz at all. This is just William processing, deciphering through the information, believing his eyes, triggering, and then going to make a play, man. It is beautiful. So for William, man, he is actually man-to-man with this particular wide receiver right here with the condensed split. Now, when you get a condensed split, a couple things go off in your head. You're thinking this guy's going to try to dart across the line of scrimmage potentially, right? In terms of your drag routes, okay, stuff like that. Or you're thinking potentially, if he's condensed in, I'm getting out-breaking routes, right? So those are some of the things in terms of antennas that could go off. But you also have to be aware that this guy could just be a blocker, okay? And that's what actually is happening right here. So soon as he reads down block, the next thing he sees is, oh, I have this big offensive lineman, right tackle coming at me. That is who who's accounting for me in terms of the protection, or in this particular play, the run blocking scheme. So he understands that, and he understands I can't wait. So he triggers, dips the shoulder, which I love. And then from there, man, go shoot your gun. Go make a play. Like, don't wait on this thing, man. If you wait and allow Tony Pollard, an opportunity to make you stop your feet or anything like that, man, that could be a missed tackle easily. But right here, he's like, nah, man, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to go be the aggressor, force the action, and that's what he does, and that ultimately helps him make the play, man. But this is a nice job, and I'm going to show it again from the end zone as well so you can see how fast he has to process through this thing with his eyes. But really good job by him not just following this receiver down here, into no man's land, because that receiver is going to block the DN that's down. That's this guy right here, okay? And then he also, in terms of William, he does not contemplate or second guess how he wants to take on this blocker. He doesn't try to chop this guy, which now you can't even do anymore. So he understands, okay, the way that I have to beat this is with speed, dips the shoulder, makes the play. Beautiful. All right. And now we're going to see it from the end zone as well, so you can really get a better appreciation of what he actually had to accomplish, or what he was accomplishing right here. So here he is right on the edge of this thing, right? Rocking that number Trizay. All right. But as you can see, man, 8-5. As soon as 8-5 goes down, come on. All right, he reads down block. He's already triggering. You see this? Foot, arm, he's going. Because his eyes have now transitioned from the tight end, or excuse me, from the receiver to this offensive lineman, okay? So now, after that, he reads, okay, am I going to cut this guy? We said you can't do that. You're not going to go inside of him because he has to be outside contained. He's the force player on this play as well. So, beat him with speed. Dip and rip, baby. Make a play. Love to see that right there, man. And yes, I'm going to play it one last time in full speed in closing. All right? So, shout out to each and every one of y'all for tuning in, because we're going to watch this play right here one last time for the culture, baby. Let's get it. Love DBs that are willing to tackle, baby. Don't tell me what you're capable of, but show me what you are willing to do. All right? But with that being said, man, you let me know your thoughts on William Jackson III joining the team, man. If you like the move, if you think that he still has some stuff left in the tank to help us out, or if you think it was a wasted move. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, baby. Peace.